saw.
box with lots of patients.
I saw. I only read one of them. I will read the other ones later.
All right.
I really only had energy for one today. Or in the last several days since you started throwing them at me, because I know that.
Sorry about the confusion last night.
No worries.
You should have gotten an email with a Zoom link.
I don't know. I never saw it.
Oh,
And I look for it a little bit, but
mhm.
I don't think it even went into junk mail, because that's one of our junk filters are really, really strong. Like probably too strong right now. But couldn't find, look for it, couldn't find it. So glad we sorted it out. No big deal.
I think there's something about the left. So you guys are on the right side of the sanctuary or the left as we're facing you. I'm not sure if you're right or left, but they're all right. Sitting in a bunch.
It's true. The real trick is if you guys would all sit together, we could put you all in the middle. If you're willing. Okay, let's make this happen. That's right, we wouldn't want the ship to sink. That would be bad.
Foundation may shift.
At this point, I hope not.
You're out of place.
You know, for thousands and thousands of years, Jews coming to services have had their specific designated spots. It's recorded in the Talmud. They call it a makom kavua, your regular spot. And if you have a regular spot, nobody else is allowed to sit in it. However, you have to sit in that spot for 3 years in a row.
One of my colleagues wrote this article once about the perfect sanctuary. That when you came in, there would only be one row of seats on the back. And as soon as that row filled up, you could push a button on the pulpit and it would slide all the way to the front and another row would pop up.
That's a brilliant design idea.
Wouldn't that be great?
That's fantastic.
Because everyone sits in the back. Yeah, that doesn't impact.
From up here, we could see everybody. The only hiding is not in the room. Gotta check too. Nope. Oh, it doesn't want to stay.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to start tonight on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon.
Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
So let's continue with candles. Patrice, come on up here. Get to pick on you. You see, you can't hide in the sanctuary because I can see everybody. So if you'll turn in your prayer books to page 2. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Don't go away. So as we have been doing since October 7, we light a candle for Israel, for the hostages. And we offer this prayer, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who frees the captives. And we hope and pray that the captives will come home soon and that the conflict will draw to a close. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Let's turn in our prayer books to page 374 and rise for Hatikva.
Kol od balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homiyah Ufate Mizrach Kadima Ayin Letzion Sophia Od lo avda tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liot am chofshi Be'artenu Eretz Tzion V'Yerushalayim Liot am chofshi Be'artenu Eretz Tzion V'Yerushalayim.
You may be seated. So we start Shabbat off with Lecha Dodi on page 20 and 21. We'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lecha Dodi Likra Kalai Yalalai 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 P'nei Shabbat Nekavila Lecha Dodi Likra Kalai Yalalai 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 P'nei Shabbat Nekavila Lecha Dodi Likra Kalai Yalalai 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 P'nei Shabbat Nekavila Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Shamor v'zachor v'ribur echad Hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad V'shem ol tiferet belitila Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor ha'beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila Lecha dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Hitoreri hitoreri Ki va'orech kumiori Uri uri shir daveri Kevod Adonai alaich migla Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Oi v'shalom ateref bala Gam besimcha u'betzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likra kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekavela.
Well, let's turn to those around us and wish each other Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What is the melody you have in mind?
Yep.
That melody goes like 3 or 4 different ways.
Now I just feel kind of dumb.
What's the problem?
I genuinely thought those candles were fake. Like they're just like the electronic ones.
Oh.
And now I just kind of feel.
You've always thought they were electronic?
No, for like a second I'm like, wait, those are you? They look electronic. Are they electronic? And now I just feel bad.
Jade is going to help us out for a bit.
That makes sense.
The one day I don't bring my notebook with the markings in it.
That's okay. You know it already. You've been doing this a long time.
No, I haven't.
You got
I've
it.
been doing this for like
And
2
don't
years.
worry. Don't worry. We
been
leave
doing this
no
for
one
like 2
behind.
years.
So, you'll start us off.
Shabbat Shalom. I hate being short. Everything. Yeah. Oh! I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Congratulations. I need to like stand back here if I'm gonna talk, because everybody hears me. And the microphone picks it up. With that, I'm in trouble.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Any simchas, any blessings this week? We welcome the Ostermans back from Israel. I'm sure they would like to still be there, but we're glad to have you back here. Animals are in need here. Any simchas, any blessings? No birthdays, anniversaries?
I can double dip if you want.
Patrice? Okay. That's great. Yes.
Ooh.
25, right? Oh no, a word problem. I'm stuck. Mike? Wow.
Ooh.
All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing simchas, and we wish y'all much goodness in your life. Let's turn in our prayer books now to page 28. Please rise as able for the Baruch.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
We continue on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim u'v'tvuna meshane itim u'machalif et hazmanim u'mesader et hakochavim b'mishmarotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'mavdil ben yom u'vein layla Adonai tzavaot shema El chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch
Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
May be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך
ובכל
ובכל
נפשך
נפשך
ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohim. Amen. Let's turn now to page 39.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we are taught before we are ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding ways to that promise, passing through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
It's going to work out so much better.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehrar b'kodesh. Ora tehilot osefele, osefele, osefele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehrar b'kodesh. No rak tehilot osefele, osefele, osefele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, Ya la 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 la.
Page 43.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions and to live with hope in our hearts and certainty in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporech sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'ni u'ben b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam, oti leolam, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam.
Thank you. Great job. We continue now on page 46 as we rise as able for tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Ata, Rav Le'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Oholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata Lachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
And let us all say Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. We continue now, page 55. Let's read together at the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, u'tfilatam b'hava tekabel, u'dhil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Continuing on page 59. At the top, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha, ulcha, na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amacha Yisrael. Bechol et ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amacha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam.
Let's take a moment now for our own private reflection. Please pray silently.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Yaseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'himru himru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So let's turn our thoughts now to those in our community who are in need of a bit of support this week. Those who are struggling with illness. We call out the names of Wanda Berkowitz, Malena Barcina Villalobos, Ezra James Mullen, Joan Adler, and Amber Gracia. We add to them Aaron Kugler and Alan Levin, Karen Ellis, Tanya Thompson, John Peacock, Anna L. Joblin, Emily Elkins, Liz Wilkes, Adina Rosenzweig, Naomi Esquenazi, Violetta Esquenazi. And we open our own hearts. And if you have names you'd like to add, please call them out. Let's join together in our prayer for healing on page 253.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the Holy and Blessed One reach out to all those that we've named out loud and in our own hearts. And may God find each of us in the week ahead and give us blessings and peace. Amen.
Amen.
So I want to begin tonight with an old story. A psychologist was asked by a friend, "Tell me, how can you listen hour after hour after hour, day after day after day, week after week after week, to people who pour out their frustrations and tales of woe to you from your couch?" To which the psychologist shrugs his shoulders and says, "Who listens?" Not to disparage therapists. not to disparage therapists. We live in a world today where listening is becoming a relic of the past. Who listens anymore? We all know opinionated people who refuse to listen to anyone. They speak without ever allowing anyone else to participate in the conversation. There are those who are so preoccupied with themselves, with what they want, what they think they need, that they're simply deaf to the rest of the world. They are so full of themselves, there's no room for anyone else in their lives. And then there's the third category to which most of us belong. Those who are so busy listening to words that sometimes don't really deserve a hearing. We're listening to so much that the important things that could really make a difference pass us by in the cacophony of our daily lives. This week's Torah portion begins by Yishma Yitro, and Jethro heard. So Rashi, in his commentary, he asks, what exactly did Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, actually hear? The Torah tells us as it was. Everything that God had done for Moses and the Jewish people, and Rashi adds, including the splitting of the Red Sea and the war with Amalek. Those amazing happenings were the catalyst for Jethro, a shepherd and a priest of Midian, to reorder his entire life and join the Jewish people. And also in this week's Torah reading, we have the most important event of Jewish history, the giving of the Torah, the Ten Commandments at least. God had never become revealed before or since to an entire people as that happened on Sinai. It would only make sense then that this Torah reading's name should reflect that amazing event. Yet surprisingly, our Torah portion is named Jethro. Jethro, who is not even a Jew. The reading opens with Jethro bringing Moses' wife and children back to him. They were left behind in Midian when he went to Egypt to free the Jews. And almost as soon as he arrives, Jethro starts criticizing Moses and the political process he put in place. Why does the Torah precede the awesome event at Sinai with this story about Jethro? Well, I'm going to take another look at the opening words. Vayishma Yitro, and Jethro heard. The word Vayishma, he heard, is sung with a musical cantillation called Gershayim. Ari, can you do that? A Gershayim. Okay, good. Vayishma Yitro, giving it a special emphasis. Vayishma, giving it a special emphasis that creates a pause and makes one take notice. The simple fact that Jethro heard does not seem as significant as what he heard, because what he heard led him to change his life. I once read a teaching that this is to emphasize our listening to the words. God gave us the Torah, but if we don't listen to its message, if we just let the words pass by as they're read, we may miss the whole meaning. And there are people who miss it. Indeed, at the end of last week's Torah reading, there's a whole nation that misses it, Amalek, the arch enemy of the Jewish people. They too heard about the 10 plagues and the splitting of the Red Sea. However, their response was to wage war against the Jewish people. They didn't listen to the story. According to the Midrash, Jethro had previously tried all the idolatrous religions of his time, but they proved empty and unfulfilling. He was a spiritual seeker who didn't stop his search till he came to the conclusion that the Torah is the path of truth. My friends, we can be like Jethro or Amalek. Both became aware of the same events, yet their responses were so different. Perhaps this is why the reading of Jethro is called Yitro, Jethro, after one who was searching for truth, and V'yishma means he listened to what he heard. In order to receive the Torah, we have to listen for truth, to be receptive to it, be open to change of who we are. The art of listening is the ability to be open to see the world from a different perspective. Jethro teaches us that the starting point to receiving God's Torah is being a good listener. In fact, often when the Talmud wants to bring proof of something in a discussion concerning a particular law, it says, Tashma, come and listen. The most famous verse in the entire Torah, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listening's an essential life skill. I work on it constantly. It's a constant battle. It means being open to change how you do things, even the direction of your life. That's what happened to Moses. Remember, when Jethro arrives, he goes into this long criticism of Moses, telling him he can't spend his whole life, his whole day, judging the people by himself. It's not fair to have the people stand on this long line, some waiting all day for their turn. Jethro advises him to set up a system to share the judging, so it will be more manageable and the people will be better served. What's interesting is that the Torah uses the same word, Vayishma, and he listened to describe Moses, as it did Jethro in the beginning of the Torah reading. And just as Jethro really listened as he heard about all that God had done for the Jewish people, and then changed his life, Moses, exercising great humility, really listened to Jethro's advice and made changes in the way he leads. What happens when we don't listen? I came across this story, true story. A dispatcher in a hurry routed a fleet of trucks to the wrong state because he heard that the trucks were to go to Portland, but quit listening before the state was given. The result? 8 trucks were sent 3,000 miles out of the way to Portland, Oregon, instead of down the road to Portland, Maine. A $100,000 mistake. Got to listen all the way through. This is why Jethro is the most appropriate name for the Torah portion. When we read about God revealing himself and giving us the Torah, it challenges us to consider that while we can come to Temple Sinai and hear the prayers and the Torah portion, are we really listening with an open mind and humble spirit, ready to consider change? Back when I was in college, I took a communications class, and the favorite book in that communications class, I think I still have it on my shelves. It's called Listening is a Way of Becoming. And it really is about becoming someone better than you are through the art of listening to the people around you. So may we learn the art of listening from Moses and Jethro and be open to change from the words of Torah and from those of our loved ones around us. Vayishma lekulam. And we should listen to everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Cynthia. Let's see.
I'm going to move it close so you can hear me this time. This is no fun. Shabbat Shalom and welcome to all of our members, our guests, and our virtual congregants. We hope that your participation in this Shabbat has been meaningful. Sharing a couple of upcoming events that may be interesting to you. It's not too late to register for the fundraising program called 100X. You can text, there's cards out there. You can text, you can email, you can do anything to do this. It is so easy, guys. I did it all. I did all of my 75. You can do it sitting in carpool. You can do it while you're waiting on someone. You can do it while you're on the phone. If you're virtual, you could be doing it now. Literally, you can do it so easily. So please, please, please do this. It makes a lot of money for us, and it's very easy. And everyone do 75 and tell your friends.
And we only have 10 more days.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got to hurry. February 9th is our next TGIS, or Thank God It's Shabbat. It's at 6 p.m. Our second and third grade classes are going to be leading our service with Rabbi Ari and a musical guest, Marge Eisman. That sounds great. Join us Sunday, February 11th at 11 a.m. for a special presentation of Dr. Peter Hotez on anti-science and anti-Semitism. Because of his security needs and security concerns, you have to RSVP to the event to come, so please contact Cindy if you want to be a part of that. And then save the date for February 24th for our gala at the Night of Masquerade. It's going to be a fundraiser, and registration is open. Tickets are on sale. They're $72 per person. We'll be honoring Cindy and her 20 years of service, and also Chava. And then join us for Kiddush and Motzi following. Thank you.
Many of you may have received or should have received an email today. Chava's spirit brother, not really a natural brother, but someone whom she grew up with her entire life, passed away this morning in Israel. And next Thursday, we are having a minyan here at Temple, 7 o'clock. The funeral will happen in Israel, but we're going to do a minyan here for her to greet people, 7 o'clock next Thursday evening. And buy your tickets to the Masquerade Ball. I have my mask. I found the mask. So we're set. All right. And let's continue our service now. Page 283. 283. Please rise as able. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם מלכנו לייחד את שמו, וגאור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום בהשבת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ ועל haaretz mitachat ein od v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom ahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We continue on page 290 with reading number 4. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then, in the face of men and women, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wherever so I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. At this sacred time, our thoughts go out to those who have recently departed this earth, our own loved ones, those of our friends and our neighbors we have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race, nation, and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. This week we mark the yahrzeits for Abraham Fishman, brother of Ethel Grudin, Mendel Halleck, grandfather of Michelle Danmiller, Simon Arch, Ellen McIntyre, mother of Jim McIntyre, Marcia Mountain, sister-in-law of Maida Asofsky, Helen Goodkind, Julius Greenberg, father of Janet Godfrey, Marnie Greenberg, wife of Bruce Greenberg. Are there any additional names for Kaddish this week? For all of them, we say Zichronam Levraha, may their memories be a blessing. Together we turn to page 294 and rise as a community for Kaddish. Yet Gadal v'yet Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Ba'alma Devarach Yerute v'yamlech Malchute, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalav Izman Kariv Imeru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Elamei Elamaya, Yet Barach v'yishtabach v'yet Pa'ar v'yet Ramam v'yet Naseh, v'yet Adar v'yet Alev v'yet Alal Shemei D'Kudsha B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nehemata, da'amiran v'yalama v'yimeru, Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom v'mramav, v'yaseh Shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and bring comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. We draw our service to a close on page 338, 338. Bottom of the page, Eile Chamda Libi.
Eile Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda, Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda, Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda, Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda, Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. One more time. Eile Chamda Libi, Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda, Chamda חמדה ליבי חוסנה ואל נא תתעלם. חמדה ליבי חוסנה ואל נא תתעלם.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for
Shalom.
Kiddush in the lobby.